She loves puns. She loves raisins. She loves books about dystopias. She loves soup. She loves stuffed animals. She loves the way the color green complements her skin. She loves granitos. She loves a sail. She loves the starchy water left over after cooking beans. She loves Star Wars. She loves singing. She loves when her nails grow out long. She loves to craft. She loves the sunrise. She loves angsty punk rock music from the late 2000s. She loves boba tea. She loves picnicking. She loves silly movies like Beverly Hills Chihuahuas. She loves to win. She loves to laugh. She loves warm baths on cold nights. She loves to hug. She loves to kiss. She loves the idea of falling in love. But she doesn't love me.
Remember the time that we laughed into the late hours of the night on total nonsense and blue owls? Remember the time that we laughed over a pan of dry brownie mix, oil in your hands, eggs in mine? Remember the time that we laughed between lyrics scrawled on line paper with dick jokes galore and Les Mis? Remember the time that we laughed pondering adjectives and adverbs and men with V names on Mad Libs? Remember the time that we laughed on your wedding night as we danced to David Bowie with no bubbles? Remember the times that we laughed? Remember?
I fall in love every day. Not with people, but with the traits they portray. With the boy who stares into my soul, or the girl whose laugh is beautiful. The person who sings like a goddess. The boy who dances regardless. The girl who asks for extra salt. The boy who is kind, to a fault. There are other ways to love anew. Not just traits, but moments, too. Reminiscing, no doubt, in Paramore, or sharing a blanket on the floor, sleeping 12 to an 8-person tent, complaining about the president, fabricating ugly scrapbooks, or practicing our makeup looks. Love is a feeling, fond and vast. Just be careful not to fall in love too fast.
It isn't painful to be called a she, nor is it welcomed emphatically. He is not who I've come to be, but it's not suffice just to say me. Like pant sizes, I don't quite fit in one world or its opposite, but alone is the in-between of it. Perhaps I'll stay there and think a bit. They've built walls to protect ideals, but needing them is akin to wheels. No beginning nor end appeals to no one, which feels suffocating their own selves. Picture perfect. Placed on shelves like dolls and heroes, not like elves. No one chances. No one delves outside the realm of what is allowed. They keep their heads tucked in a cloud of restrictions which they vow to uphold in hopes of being kowtowed to. by those who just aren't right. She's too strong. He's too light. To reach those clouds, they need a kite. But the only way is to fight those walls which hold them in. Those clouds like Vapor Jen. These rules are not your kin, so why let them win? These walls were our creation. The clouds are innovation. But we're overdue for a revelation that we are all of but one nation. He or she is not here nor there. Humanity is no binary or pair. Shades of gray are everywhere. So sit down with me and we can share a cup of juice or coffee or tea. A snack is in order, and then maybe we can talk about books or food or TV. And you can be you, and I can be me.
What a pervert. He's not even 2 inches from his wife, my sister, and is just going to pretend like nothing happened. All men are dogs, just looking for anything they can stick their wang into. I can't even look at him. I won't. He thinks he can get close behind me and whisper in my ear, Susan. Why did he have to say my name like that? He didn't just say, Susan. There was tension when he said it, like he could barely control himself. Susan. Carl doesn't even say my name like that. Not anymore. What am I doing? Stop it. I am a happily married woman. Well, I'm married. If I'm being honest with myself, Carl has been distant with me lately. I think he's been checking out other women. But then again, there's nothing wrong with a bit of daydreaming.
I'm in love. They say your wedding is the happiest day of your life, but I think it's the day after. And the day after, and so on. I mean, so many years married and not one fight. That's gotta be some record. I should call someone about that. What I think it is between us is our sense of communication. We can tell each other anything. And what comes next is understanding. If your wife were to come home and tell you she killed someone, what would you do? Most would just call it quits and simply give up. What would I do? I would grab her blood-soaked hands and ask, how can I help you? Because we truly understand each other.
I'm thinking of leaving my husband. Ever since we got married, I just haven't felt that spark. Everyone strives for a perfect marriage, where every day is its own little slice of heaven. No fights, no problems. Our relationship is the poster child for a long-lasting, happy, boring marriage. It's been 2 years and we haven't fought. I get in fights more with the mailman than I do with my own husband. And sometimes I try to start fights with him just to feel something. Like last week, I backed up into his brand new Benz and he rushed outside, slamming the door, and he stood there looking at me with those big, beady eyes, and I thought he was gonna choke me out on the spot. But next thing I know, he's bawling on my lap, begging me to forgive him for parking there. No matter what I do, he worships me. I could kill a man in front of him, and he would just help me bury the body. Yeah. It's gotten to the point where I've started to do little things, like leaving someone else's tie around the house, but he wasn't catching on. So I started to be more risky and left the computer on a dating website. But nothing.
I'm in love. You hear about these great love stories like Cinderella and Prince Charming, but what about Mark and Martha? I mean, I'm her knight in shining armor. I'll protect her at any cost. Except the other day, I found some dating website open on Martha's laptop. I told myself, what could this mean? I mean, she'd been chatting with the neighbors. The account was under her name. But then it clicked. Someone had broken into her house and tried to break us up. It's the only thing that makes sense.
You know, I've never realized how much power a name holds. Mark. Now that's a name you could say with vigor. Mark. And it's not like I'm breaking them up. Their marriage is already in shambles. Mark is basically throwing himself at me, sending me all of these signals. I mean, it makes sense. I've always had more to show off than mediocre Martha. I just wished he realized this before he married her, or at least before I married Carl. I don't know why he's doing this now. For the love of God! He invited me over last night, and I went! When I got there, the only lights were candles, and he had prepared a beautiful dinner for us. But before he even noticed, I ran out. What's wrong with me?
Since he wasn't catching on, I would try to tempt him to see if he'd cheat. I'd send him on these little trips to my coworkers' homes, and I'd tell them to try their best to get his pants off. But they'd come back to me hours later, all glassy-eyed because they were moved by something my husband said about our undying love. It's like I give him all the pieces and he can't seem to put the puzzle together. I've gotten so desperate, I even tried to give my sister a chance. It was going perfectly. I planned this dinner for Mark, but told him I had to step out to go to the store. I was so close. I saw my sister walk through the door, but then she ran right back out. You can never rely on family.
Susan might be my wife, but my heart lies with another. Like the tragic romance, we're star-crossed lovers. I'm not even ashamed about how I feel. I don't care if my wife is around. She couldn't understand what it's like when your love is taboo. The love of my life isn't even 2 feet away from me, and I can't do anything about it. It takes every bit of restraint I have not to just grab their hand and confess all the love I have. No, Mark, I know you love me too.
I am tired. Everything I do fails. I invited Susan's husband over last night. I opened the door wearing nothing but the smallest towel I could find. I quickly mentioned my husband wasn't home and made up some lie about how my shower was leaking while I used it. I was being so obvious, and he just blew me off. I practically threw myself at him, and I got nothing back. You bend over backwards for a man, and he just treats you with respect. At least I know my sister's marriage has got nothing to worry about. Clearly, they love each other. not like us.
There is one thing, though. I've been sensing this weird energy from her lately. And I think I know what it is. I'm not an idiot. I see the signs. Change in behavior in the last few months. She's craving something more. And frankly, so am I. She wants a baby. I just know it. It's what she wants. It's the manifest destiny in our relationship.
Some nights I can't fall asleep. I just watch him, sleeping, and I think, where's this relationship heading? Where are we going to be in a year? Or 5? Or even a decade?
If it's a boy, Charlie. If it's a girl, Martha, of course.
I've been journaling my thoughts a lot lately. I write about every conversation we have, even if it's about seemingly nothing. I wrote 3 whole pages about the time we talked about the local corn production in the valley. It was a short conversation, but boy was it steamy.
Lust is a deadly sin, but all I want to do is repent. Look at me. A year ago, I was in a sexless marriage, but now I'm playing the most risky game of cat and mouse with my brother-in-law.
Everything's packed. All that's stopping me from leaving is the respect I have for my husband. The least I could do is wait till he falls asleep.
He's single? Oh my god. Are these the butterflies people would tell me I get during my wedding? I guess I had back then was indigestion. But with Martha out of the picture, there's nothing holding me back. That's right. Carl. I made a vow to him. Mark's in a very rough place right now. I should go ahead and check in on him. What kind of person would take advantage of someone whose wife just left them?
Are a dozen flowers enough? Or are tickets to Fiji off-putting? I should start with the flowers and then bring up Fiji. No. Start with Fiji and then bring up the flowers if it backfires. No. It's about time I get what I want. And all I want is Mark. Is that so wrong? It feels like I'm living someone else's life, like it's just a character. This, though, this feels right. This feels real.
How is it possible I never knew? I just caught my husband red-handed with tickets to Fiji. For Mark? I feel so dumb. It makes sense. The last and only time we had sex was our wedding day. I should have known those tears weren't made out of joy.
I woke up with a note written beside me. Martha wrote 3 words. I need space. And if that's what she needs, I'm willing to give it to her. I'll be waiting. It's only been about a week. How long could she be gone for?
is your biggest weakness? I don't know. I don't think I have one.
I try too hard at times. I can be too caring and passionate. Sometimes.
I can be really hard on myself.
I overthink things. Does this really matter though?
I assure you that your answers to these personal questions will bear no significance in our ultimate decision.
Thank you for your time.
It's been a pleasure.
We should be moving on.
Hello, Miss Romanos. How are you today?
Hi, I'm alright. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Graham Ross, and this is my associate, Millie Lee.
Hi, Brian. It's really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm excited to
Sorry it took us a while to let
started.
you in. We were just getting your papers printed out.
I thought you just needed my resume and cover letter.
Yes, we got those, Mr. Hermanos.
Is that not enough? Are they not right? I can
No,
try and fix
they're
it.
fine. Could be better, but they're fine. As you may know, our company requests a record of our applicant screen and internet history from the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic to now. So right here, we have your record. Are you ready to get started? I'll take that as a no-show.
I'm sorry about that. I'm here now.
That's all right. There's no need to worry. Anything explicit or inappropriate has already been removed from your records.
We'll just be using these to cross-reference your answers to get a better understanding of who you are.
You should have nothing to worry about.
Okay.
We'll begin by just asking you some general questions.
Yes.
How did you
go
hear
on,
about this job?
I've been searching for a new job for a while now. I hadn't found any though.
Where did you find this posting?
My dad found it. I think on Indeed or something.
Great.
Yeah, Indeed.
Thank you. You mentioned that you were looking for a new job. Was there any specific reason you decided to pursue this over the others? We don't really get a lot of applicants.
No, we don't.
I tried other places. Only a few called me back though, but the interviews just didn't go that well. So I guess I was looking to challenge myself here. I haven't really done anything related to this stuff. So I was honest in my cover letter, you know. I don't have much experience, but I am interested.
Well, we appreciate your honesty, Brian.
Thank you.
Your last job was at a Subway as a sandwich maker.
Uh-huh.
You worked there from February to September of 2020. How long have you been considering leaving that job?
Probably for the last 2 months I worked there. Yeah, 2 months. About right.
However, these records show that you have been conducting job searches on Google since March. Multiple times each week, you search for part-time jobs, student jobs near me, jobs near me that don't involve food. So, would you say that you only began to seriously consider leaving that job during the last 2 months of your time there?
Yeah. That's when I seriously needed to just leave.
Thank you for your honesty, Brian.
Of course.
Oh, the technicality of it all can be confusing.
Why did you quit?
It's just so much I was asked to do at the job, because I was usually the only guy working that late, so it became making sandwiches, cleaning up, checking the cash register, all that. There were also things that happened at the beginning of the pandemic that made me want to leave.
It couldn't be that busy.
Well, no, we didn't get a lot of customers there. It was the same folks usually. Didn't really talk that much. People who worked at the factory nearby, so busy people. And yeah, we had all the safety protocols, masks, face shields, no indoor dining.
Hey, are you still a student?
Yeah, I'm still working on my bachelor's. It can be hard to get all the classes I need in a semester, but I'm still on track. I'll finish on time, I think. No, I don't have much volunteer experience. My family and I are new to the area, so it's been tough to settle in. Well, sure, I am interested in outreach in the community. I don't really know my community Like here. I said, I'm new here. I don't know how to answer that question. I'm not familiar with how that works around here. I have found it difficult to be on campus. Oh no, the student population is fine. It's cool. I don't know, I've never been. I didn't really have a choice of figuring it out. I just don't quite feel like I fit in. It wasn't always like that, though. I was fine. I used to be fine.
Brian! Are we okay?
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I don't know. What?
It's fine. We can continue when you're ready.
Brian. It's okay. It's okay.
Mr. Hermanos, as you may know, we anticipate to return to an in-person work setting beginning this fall. Although we have been working remotely for a year or so, we still believe that working on-site is the most efficient.
Yes, I agree.
Do you believe you'd handle the transition into working in person gracefully?
Absolutely. I worked in person at the beginning of the pandemic. I'd be able to now.
That's right, you were an essential worker.
I was essential. For the first time ever.
Many workplaces are returning to in-person, actually.
So, would that make everyone an essential worker? Or no one?
What do you think are some strengths that would help you excel in an in-person setting?
So you're asking me to sell myself?
Oh, please.
Well, there are the usual adjectives, but I think I add a unique quality to a group that makes the group members feel accepted and validated. That then opens the gate to better motivation and efficiency.
That's very important.
Yeah, efficiency is key in the workplace.
How do you think that quality of yours has changed over the pandemic?
That's a good question, Graham. It's difficult to just connect to people over a video call, I think. You're stuck staring at this two-dimensional picture of what is a three-dimensional person, and you're just staring at their blurry face. That's another thing. We don't even get to see each other's full bodies over video calls. I have no idea who you are and what you look like below your shoulders.
That's quite interesting. I've never quite thought about that, Brain.
Someone could show up to work with a prosthetic leg. Well, not that there's anything wrong with a prosthetic leg. You just wouldn't have known.
I almost forgot to ask, Mr. Hermanos. With a return to an in-person work setting, we do have to ask all applicants if they had any serious pre-existing health problems. Do you have any serious health problems that may stop you from working on site?
No, I don't.
That includes mental health as well, Brian.
I don't have any serious problems.
Well, you searched for testicular cancer 44 times over the last 6 months. There are also an alarming amount of searches for headache and migraine solutions.
I'm feeling fine.
Brian, I don't want to mention any of your mental health searches out loud, but please do feel free to share anything serious you may be experiencing.
I'm not experiencing anything serious.
Right? Not to us. Please know that it can be helpful to reach out to a close friend or anyone you may consider in your support system.
Mr. Hermanos, it's very important to us that we learn how you spent your time during the pandemic. We use it as an indicator for your health and work ethic. How would you describe the time you spent during the pandemic?
It was fine. I would wake up. I would get my daily exercise and have breakfast, shower, the typical morning routine. Family was a big priority to me, so I would help around the house with chores and cleaning. I didn't really have much free time during the pandemic.
I understand. Do you recall watching any of The Simpsons?
Here and there.
You must really like the show.
It's a good show.
Did you have much social interaction with others, Brian?
Not much outside my family. I tried catching up with some old friends, but you know how that goes.
A total disaster?
No, well, not that
Oh,
bad.
it could have been better.
Yeah?
Mr. Hermanos, you spent an average of 13 hours a day on your computer.
Sure.
5,213 hours over 401 days.
Okay.
That seems to be an excessive amount.
I enjoyed it. I wasn't wasting my time on it.
You spent a lot of your time on it.
And I could spend that time watching The Simpsons, reading the news, searching for helpful tips, you name it.
Do you think that would help you transition into working in person again?
It could.
Brian,
No, that's not me now.
As you may
but
know, these records contain a lot of information about
I know.
me.
I do know.
Mr.
You
Hermanos,
don't know why
I don't
they're like.
understand your attitude
I
here.
don't have to tell you anything.
Wow, Brian! Who is Lucy Albright? She is by far your most frequented search over the last 401 days. You have searched for her Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. At all hours of the day.
Are you alright, Mr. Hermanos? This seems like a good place to stop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think...
Please. I can do better. I can do better. I can do better.
Pásale a lo barrido. Tenemos tomates, aguacates, piña para la niña, cebolla. Pásale. Oye, señora, ¿y si no tienes planes de comprar? Por favor, de no tocar la mercancía. Tenemos fresas frescas, ramos de flor de calabaza. ¿Un ramo de flores, señor? Y si lo quiere la esposa, le hace unas quesadillas y si está de malas, ¡córrele! Nopalitos recién cortados. ¡Pásale! Oye, ya sé qué estás haciendo, chiquilla. ¿Y si me quieres robar? Espérate hasta el fin del día, cuando venda algo, porque ahorita está muerto.
¿Me está hablando a mí?
No te hagas.
Disculpe.
Te mandó Rodrigo.
No, ¿de qué está hablando?
No dejes nacer a esa niña en esa casa.
¿De qué está hablando?
Una bebé.
¿Embarazada? ¿Yo? No.
Ten cuidado. Mucho cuidado del veneno. Hombres como él son como una víbora. Encantadores. Pero el momento que te distraes por un solo rato, te chingan.
Yo acepto.
En virtud de la autoridad que me conceden las leyes del estado de California, los declaro marido y mujer. Puede besar a la novia.
No sabe lo que dice. Somos felices. Felices, él me ama.
Toma, esta caja de comida. No es mucho, pero es algo. Me enoja saber que esta comida no es para ti. Ven conmigo. Cuando estés lista, vienes y me buscas. Aquí puedes trabajar, de lunes a viernes.
Duérmeteme, niña, duérmeteme ya. Los angelitos en el cielo siempre te cuidarán.
¡Mami! ¡Mamá! 1, 2, 3, 7. Mami, ¿qué viene después de 7? ¡8, Pinocho! Mami, ¿dónde estás? Porque mi pancita está triste. Tengo hambre. Te escondiste muy bien. Aquí te espero. Yo ya no quiero jugar. Aquí estoy. Ya. Párale con tus enfadadas. Ay, Estela, ¿cómo chingas con tu mami? ¿Qué? ¿A poco todavía crees en las estrellas? ¿Estrellitas? Mira el cielo. 1, 2, 3. Siempre hay montones y montones de estrellas en el cielo. En la escuela los maestros siempre salían con sus mismas pendejadas de que nosotros somos estrellas. Pero la pura neta, sí tienen razón. Un día miras una estrella en el cielo y luego el próximo día sales a mirar las estrellas solo para ver que ya no está. No existe. Como las estrellas, nosotros siempre vamos a ser brillantes, admiradas y olvidadas. No somos olvidadas. También tenemos historias que contar. Tenemos huevos en el refri. Ay, carajo, se me olvidó comprar tortillas para la cena. 1, 2, 3. Soy madre, soy esposa, soy hija de la chingada. Mira el chulazo del cielo. ¡Qué belleza! Salgo y la miro cada noche. No les pongo tanta importancia a las estrellas. Las odio. Pero cuando miro la luna, soy hipnotizada. Es una belleza que cambia y siempre regresa. Aspiró un día ser como la luna. Para mi Marisol, mi nena.
Ya, párale con tus cancioncitas. Vas a dejar a esa niña pinche sorda. ¿Qué hiciste de tragar? ¿Ah? Porque vengo con una pinche hambre de perro. ¿Qué pedo, nena? ¿Ahora no me vas a hablar? No sirves para nada.
¡Rodrigo!
Ahora sí hablas. ¿Sirve para algo? Hazme unos huevos.
La niña está dormida.
Yo, Rodrigo Santoyo, te recibo a ti, Estela Beltrán,
En blanco.
para ser mi esposa.
Me sentí bella.
Protegerte de hoy en adelante.
La única mujer en el mundo.
Para mal, en la riqueza y en la pobreza.
Mentiste.
En salud y en enfermedad.
Mentiste.
Para amarte y cuidarte.
Mentiste.
Hasta que la muerte nos separe.
No entiendo por qué. Sigo amándote.
¿Y las tortillas?
Hueles a vieja.
¿Y las tortillas? Ven a darle a tu rey un beso. ¿Qué quieres? ¿Qué más quieres de mí?
1, 2, 3. ¿Nos está hablando a nosotros
Un perro trabajando.
de esa manera? Ay, no. Mejor monja. No es así todo el tiempo. Está cansado. Déjalo de juzgar.
Para llegar a una mesa vacía y un...
I'm sorry. Pero tu novio está feo, feísimo. Ya sabes cómo se dice. Los niños y los borrachos nunca echan mentiras. Piénsalo. De veras. Para ti. Para nuestra Marisol.
Todo el día ando como un perro.
Puedes comprar todo el pan de chocolate que tú quieras. Y galletas también. No puedo. Querer es poder. Por favor.
Nada.
¿Me estás escuchando, mujer?
No.